Welcome to Joy of Business Radio, hosted by Joy of Business facilitators from around the world, with special shows from Simone Milasas, the founder and creator of Joy of Business. Are you bored or dissatisfied with your work or business? Joy of Business is an invitation to a completely new way of creating. Did you know your business and job can actually be fun and joyful? If what you are currently doing isn't working for you, listen into this show full of pragmatic tools from Access Consciousness, which change everything in business, from money to finance, staff, creativity, productivity, communication, and beyond. Joy of Business Radio, weekly on Om Times Radio.
Hello, hello, hello. Hello to the Om Times Radio show today. My name is Doris Schachenhofer, and I'm one of the Joy of Business facilitators and Access Consciousness facilitators. And today I'm really excited to have this show and conversation with a beautiful woman. If you have listened to this show more often, you know that all the Joy of Business facilitators come on here, have different conversations, and we are also invited to invite other people that are not Joy of Business facilitators, but are amazing creators and do something beautiful in the world out there. So next to being a Joy of Business facilitator, we have different specialties with the Access Consciousness tools, and one specialty is Being You. I'm also a Being You facilitator, and there are more and more facilitators joining us, and one of them, I have her with me today, is Karine Champagne, and she already has this beautiful, amazing name, the sparkles and it's magic. And we have never met before. I have seen her in the group, and I've seen what she's creating in the world, and I messaged her and said, you know what, would you be up to come on this show with me and have the conversation with me? And I want to get to know you. Let's make it publicly. And here she is now. Hello, Karine.
Hi. I think I'm going to start crying. Oh, my God. I can't believe I'm with you. I'm so honored.
Me too. And that's the beauty, you know. Thank you so much. You immediately said yes. And I was like, oh, my God, you're so inspiring. You know, I will throw it out. I'm doing Being You for a long time. It's my, Being You and business. Both of them are my heart things. You know, it's close to my heart, and I want anyone to know that there are easy tools out there to have ease in your life. And of course, we all want to reach a lot of people. And then I hear that you're just starting to do these classes and have hundreds of people in an evening class that you already had by now.
Yeah.
And I was like blown away. And I'm like, I need to know this person. And I want to hear, how did you create this? So I want to start with telling a little bit about you. And
Okay.
This already is inspirational. You told me you have been a TV news anchor, and for 21 years you have done this.
Yeah.
And you used And a lot of times, like with news, it's about bad news, right?
Yes, yes.
So at one point, you decided for yourself to leave this job behind because it was all about bad things, and you wanted to create something different in the world. And already you said you were bored. So from all this experience, you chose to do something different and bring something different to the world and quit your job, which a lot of people didn't like, right? Yeah. And now you're traveling the world with empowering people and tell them you can always make another choice. Even if other people don't understand you, there's always another possibility if you trust in yourself and ask, what else do you want to bring to the world? Yeah. So, Karine, where do you want to start? Like, I want to let it open. How was your evening class? Tell us, how was your evening class with all these hundreds of people?
It was so amazing. It was out of, what I could have ever imagined. It was huge. We were over 500. I really created an event with supper so we can enjoy and talk, and we danced. And I just, I'm using the tools of Access Consciousness, and I want to add myself to that. What do I like about giving classes? I like to dance. I like when there's some music. I like when we're having fun and when we're having champagne. And it was my birthday the next day. So I just created an amazing event saying, hey, if you want to celebrate life. And my mom died 2 weeks ago. So it was really in between. So I was telling people, this is what is about living. We're between two important dates. My mom left her body, and I got the chance to incarnate myself on November 10th. So what we have beginning and we have end, and we're right in between. And what do you want to choose? You know, people are, when you talk about death, people just go, oh, don't talk about that. Well, I think I'm more scared about not living than dying. And this is how I just brought that during this evening. Talking about death was something like maybe a little bit hazardous. And it was something maybe a little bit weird because people said, we're saying, oh, my God, you're really going to talk about death? You're going to cry? You're going to fall out? And no, because I chose something different. And I'm choosing to celebrate life and celebrate my mom as exactly what she would have liked to do.
I love that. That's so beautiful. And you got I'm really easy with talking about that. So, and I love that you bring it to the world in a different perspective. So can you, for short, come back to what you said? You are more scared of not living than dying. So what are you seeing in the world about these two things? And what is the difference for you?
Oh, I had a very big job when you introduced myself. I was a news anchor, so I was reading the news on national French TV for 21 years. And I was dying inside, and I went through depression, and I knew that it was because I was, like, fading myself so much to fit, like, exactly people wanted to see me. You know, I couldn't do anything about my hair, about my clothes, about my makeup, about how I move when I talk, when I deliver the news. I was having too much fun. I was too intense. I was smiling too much. So everything I was doing wasn't right for TV.
Yeah.
And I just started to, like, the fire I had inside, the living fire, the happy, the me was, like, dimming again and again and again, and I was dying inside, and I really told myself one day, well, this can't be it. I'm going to die before I die. I'm dying already. I'm not having fun. This is, even if I make, like, thousands and thousands of euros or having great money and having a great life, this is so boring. This is so not me. I cannot do that. And I really, 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 really refuse that, saying this is not going to be my life.
So when you made the choice to leave this job, did you know how your future would, how it would go on? Did you have any plans, or was it really first the choice of, like, this is not working for me anymore, I need to, like, change it now?
I would say I was having a little transition since 2 years. At each moment that I was not enjoying my job, I was putting more money aside. I was trying to create something more because, you can say always, I hate my job. I hate my job. Okay, so what are you doing right now? So you can just maybe dream a little bit more, have a little bit more fun, have something to just, like, grab and say, or grit, or say, I'm going to hanging there. I'm going to just keep that so tight. So I was putting money aside, and I was trying and starting to make some speeches and some conference. I used sport to get out from depression, asking my body what's required to heal from depression as fast as possible. So I just started to run, to bike, to swim, and I became an Ironman. Being out of shape, it became Ironman. And I started to do some speeches in sports stores. So there were 20, 30, 40 people coming to hear my story. And I was running with people before the speech and the moment we had together. And then I was selling some T-shirts, and I was just trying to create something that never existed before.
Mm-hmm.
And then it started to get bigger and bigger and bigger. So I was having the choice. Do I want to keep reading the news, or I'm ready to step out and just take a leap of faith and say, let's see what will happen. And I was ready for everything. I was ready to lose everything. My husband and I had a talk and say, maybe we're going to lose the house. Are you okay with that? He said, sure. Okay. We'll go through it. And I knew that if it wasn't working, I could sell running shoes, and I would be the best running shoe seller of the world.
I love that one.
Yeah.
So you had at least one person next to yourself that supported you, and this was your husband.
Yes. But, when I resigned from my job, he didn't know. I just resigned, and I went upstairs, and I say, I have really something important to tell you. I'm not working anymore. Because you know what? I didn't want him to put his interesting point of view in my decision. I didn't want to. Yeah. I didn't want him to tell me I'm scared, I'm afraid. I say, you know what? We'll get through it. I don't know what will happen, and I'm just opening my arms to everything to see what can show up in my life.
I love that, because, a lot of people would say this was against your husband, but if you really look at it, it was including him, because you first made a choice where you trusted yourself and you looked at what's working for you. And this is a pragmatic choice, and that's so beautiful, because a lot of times we think we need to inform other people instead of asking or trusting ourselves, what do we know here? What do we want to choose here? And not being irritated what it would bring to other people's worlds or what they have to say about it. And so, wow. And as I said, I'm totally with you, because I made a choice in my life where I did it the same. I just made a choice and then informed other people. Yes, with my divorce, I did it that way. I was like, I was so clear on what I wanted to choose, and it was not the easiest, because a lot of people are involved in something like that. And I was like, I know if I tell people, they will, they wanna see whatever their point of view is, and they wanna give me good advice from their point of view. But I'm always inviting people of asking questions and not telling other people what they think is good or what they think is the better choice. It's more like, what do I know? And I as well didn't want anyone to put anything in my world. And I didn't do it from one second to another, as you said also. It was a choice over some time. And when it became so clear, I made the choice. Of course, with me, my ex-husband was involved. We did it together. And we are going now into the first break, and I'm totally interested about something else I will ask you after our first break. Thank you so much.
Great. Thank you.
No one needs to have a money problem, especially you.
Yeah, did you hear that? You have an unlimited and mostly unaccessed capacity to create money and a financial reality that works for you. Simone Milasas has a brand new book. It's called Getting Out of Debt Joyfully. And right now, when you go to gettingoutofdebtjoyfully.com, if you pre-order the book, you'll get a free online course. What if you can create money in ways no one else can? Just go to gettingoutofdebtjoyfully.com to get your copy today.
Host your show on IOM FM, the radio network of Om Times Media, one of the more recognized brand names in the conscious community, and is backed by the extensive marketing reach of Om Times. Hosting a show on IOM FM immediately connects you with our extensive dedicated community.
Aloha, my name is Jennifer O'Neill, and I'd like to invite you to come join me every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Hawaii Standard Time for my show, Spirit Chat. Spirit Chat focuses on simplifying the process of using the spiritual tools and gifts you were born with in a way that fits into your everyday life. I also teach different techniques that will help you learn how to navigate the spirit realm and empower you on your own spiritual journey. So join me this Wednesday as I guide you through the spirit world.
The number one reason girls drop out of school in sub-Saharan Africa is lack of access to feminine hygiene products. The Pads for Schoolgirls Project, an outreach of Humanity Healing International, is changing this paradigm by setting up sewing programs at schools, teaching girls a vocational skill while producing the reusable pads that help keep them attending classes. The girls pay it forward by making and giving pad kits to other girls in need. To learn more, visit humanityhealing.org. Humanity Healing is where your heart is. The cutting edge of conscious radio. Om Times Radio. IOM FM.
Hello back to this episode of Om Times Radio with my amazing colleague, being you facilitator, Karine Champagne. And we just talked about making choices and trusting yourself before including other people. And everywhere where you think you owe other people an explanation for what you are choosing instead of trusting yourself, and also seeing what gift it is to everyone if you choose what works for you. And with Being You, it's all about celebration of living. And I would like to know a little bit about you, Karen. Where do you come from? Like, you're from Canada, and, you know, a lot of people, it seems so sparky. You were a TV person, and, you know, a lot of people seem to know you there. So how did your life look like when you grew up, and when would you say did this start where you were like, oh my God, I want to like change the world or have a word out there, I have my voice? How did you grow up?
I think it was already in me, and I knew it because I was 6 or 7 years old, and I was telling everybody that one day I would be reading the news on national TV, and everybody were keeping telling me, you know, there's not a lot of people doing that. It's going to be hard. You're going to have a plan B or a C or a D. And in my head, it was so clear that I would make it. And, you know, I even remember I was in just before going to college, and I had a very, very bad grade in mathematics. But I knew I was going to be a reporter in a TV news, so I didn't really need math. And I was like having 42, and I needed at least 60. So I went to see my teacher, and I said, you know what? Would you like to have an impact in my life? Would you like to help me achieve my goals? He said, what do you want? Well, I need a better grade. If I want to go to college, I need a better grade. He said, how much do you need? I need 60. I have 42, and I need 60 because I want to be a reporter, and you're going to be able to say that you helped me achieve my goal. And he gave me 60.
Wow.
And yeah, and it's all about asking. It's all about daring to ask and see big and tell people how big are your dreams. He could have said no, you know. It would have been okay, and I would have found another way to get my grades up or ask the college to give me a chance. But I was ready already to play big.
I love that. And this is what you also told me your life is about. I asked you, what is your motto? And you said playing big, creating big, being big.
Yeah.
And this is what you want people to know and invite them to. So what tool would you give people? You know, if they just listen to us the first time, and we talk about Being You, and we talk about what you have graded and what you have chosen and changed. So what would be a tool that you'd like people to know?
Yeah, my favorite tool really is, if I was being me, what would I choose? And I say that in loop like 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, until the energy comes in. Because sometimes I react a certain way. Maybe I'm my mom, maybe I'm my dad or my ex-boss or my husband. And then I ask myself, am I being me? And if I was me, really me, what would I choose? What would I choose?
Yeah. We have to learn to react to things, right? To react and to have a point of view, and then we miss out to really sense, like, what would I like to choose right now? Exactly. And this is where this question brings you to. It's like, if I'm choosing myself, if I'm being me right now, what would I choose? What would be possible? Would I really, would I really be upset right now?
Exactly.
It was so funny. This afternoon I went just to normal shop, where you get your groceries and bought some things. And I chose a time where this shop was really full. It's a big shop, and all people, buy their things for the weekend, and then they go to the thing where you pay. And then people were upset behind me and in front of me and all around. And at one point, I was having so much fun standing there and was like, wow, it's like a choice, it's a choice to be upset. It's a choice to blame other people for whatever. And at one point behind me, they would chat about this beautiful woman and say, she's the one that is always too slow. And oh my God, if I would have known she's sitting there, I would have chosen another, aisle. And then 2 minutes after, he would say, could it be faster than that? And I would turn around and say, no, as you see, it can't. And then he was silent. And I could see when I paid, he really wanted me to push away, and I was like, and I'm still being me, and we'll have fun, and you will not get me. My mood and my the rest of the day will not be like yours, and you will have your upset in your world. And this is where we have this choice, right? This is where we can go along with what other people are choosing, or we can look at, what do I want to have? What do I want to have as a day? Do I want to have a joyful day, a fun day, or do I want to be upset? And
Oh, so much. It's music to my ear. Absolutely. And, when I was talking about my husband not knowing about my choices, some people use that and they tell me, oh, if I had your husband, or if my husband was like yours, my life would be so easier. And I say, they didn't get anything. It's not about justification. It's about choice and inner choice.
Totally. So if it's about playing big, creating big, what are your new asks now? What is it that you are asking for? And after your amazing evening class, I have seen the pictures and videos and all the joy and the fun and the smiling people and the enthusiasm there. So what's next on your plate?
Well, I would like to travel the world. I didn't do anything outside from Quebec right now. And I say, how fun would it be to travel and create something outside from here? I would love that. And how can I also travel here in Quebec in French and see how much more those kind of nights or those kinds of days I can create? How much more fun can I add to my life and people who will decide to join me? I would like to say, universe, show me. No, universe, surprise me. Show me what's the way I could create even more.
Yes. And it's a beautiful thing of we have all these creation buddies. Oftentimes we have people around us, but also you have, like you said, you have the universe to talk to if you believe in that, or maybe it's something else. It's not some people say whatever, the God or whatever it is for you up there. But as I see right now, Karine is creating like me, also with the universe. And it's really are you willing to pull the universe in and say, hi, this is my request. This is what I'd like as my life. And what else is possible here?
Yes, and I hired the universe. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
hire the universe. He's my CEO. Universe has the title of CEO of my company. So just show me.
Yeah, and what I see people do as well is You know, we have Christmas coming right now, and I see people, they have a little bit of an energy and a sense of, I hope I'm good enough that I get from the universe what I'd like to have. And this is not how I see it's working. It's more like, just ask. Like the universe, you don't need to be like good. You don't need like to make it good to get something. It's more like, are you willing? And Karen used the word, do you dare? Do you dare to ask for anything, even for the things you cannot figure out, even for the things that look too big and you don't know how this could look or how you should handle it? But will you be willing to ask for what you desire and what would be fun for you as your life and living?
Oh, yeah, question over conclusion. Totally.
Yeah. And people that have created big lives in the world out there, they have a way like this to create. Like they don't see like limits. They are like, I don't care about limits. I'm like, I want to have this, I want to have this, I want to have this, I'd like this, I'd like this, I'd like this. And the universe is like the buffet for us. The universe is not saying, don't ask for too much. That's not okay. It's us that tell each other, isn't it too big? Are you really sure? And the universe is offering everything for us.
Yeah, and
so,
I really enjoy, tapping into the energy of Dane and Gary and Simone. And when I think about Gary, let's say, I say this guy 30 years ago was probably in his basement wondering what he could create with no technology, no web, no marketing, no worldwide easy shit. He was just like creating beyond and beyond and beyond and beyond. So when I start something, I allow myself to be a beginner. So that's okay. I don't mind. I don't mind having one person in my class. I don't mind doing online coaching with nobody. I don't mind trying things that don't grow up as fast as I want. Just go and play. Just go and have fun. Because you're always comparing yourself. Usually people compare this. This is so big. Yeah, but, I made a big choice. I was 7 when I decided to be a news anchor. I was 7 when I made that first big leap of faith. I wasn't 45 or 46. I just decided way before I could do that. Oh.
Yeah.
So what can you choose now that will change your future?
Totally. And I wonder, what have you known when you were a kid and for any reason you put it aside, but if you maybe remember it right now, what is it still possible to create it? So let's go in our second break and let's see where we go after it.
Yay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have you ever wondered how to change your love paradigm? The secret key is finding a love partnership, not just a regular connection. How do you find these? Through conscious relationships. Ascending Hearts Dating is a dating site for people like you that believes in second chances and a different type of spiritual connection. Try Ascending Hearts for free today at ascendinghearts.com and change your love paradigm. Ascending Hearts, the premier dating community for the spiritually awake.
Tune in to the Practical Intuitive, Mind, Body, Spirit for the Real World with me, host Robin Fritz, Mondays at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 Eastern. I'll cover personal and business intuition, animal communication, mediumship, space clearing, past life regression, shamanic insights, energy healing, soul choice, and more, all to help you tap your own intuitive and healing skills. No ifs, ands, or buts.
Host your show on IOM FM, the radio network of Om Times Media, one of the more recognized brand names in the conscious community, and is backed by the extensive marketing reach of Om Times. Hosting a show on IOM FM immediately connects you with our extensive dedicated community.
Putting the fun back in business. Wake up, go to work, come home, watch TV, go to bed, repeat. Business, work, your job, hate it, bored, want to leave it? Or business, work, your job, fun, play, joy, fun? Which would you like to choose? You may not know this, but business, your job, work can actually be fun. Shake up your business routine. Check out my 3-part free video series on putting the fun back in business. Go to accessjoyofbusiness.com/fun and put the fun back in business.
Connecting you with the best of the conscious minds in the world. Om Times Radio. IOM FM.
And again, back with our beautiful conversation with Karine Champagne. My name is Doris Schachenhofer. I'm one of the 12 business facilitators, and I invited her to talk about playing big, creating big, being big. And she has created something really beautiful for herself in her life, and now is inviting a lot of other people to what she knows, and especially to know that you have always choice, and that being you is the beauty that you can choose, and it's all about the celebration of living.
Yeah.
Karen, before we went to the last break, she talked about Gary, Dane, and Simone. I want to give you a little bit of information if you have never heard about these guys.
Oh, yeah, good idea.
Beautiful people. And I love that you mentioned them because they are beautiful people that invite us all to be ourselves and empower us to have choice. And it's all about choice. You can choose whatever works for you. There is nothing of like, you need to choose this, and this is the right way, and this is the wrong way. And if you would choose it like this, then you would, be successful, or everything would be great. It's really about asking questions to allow yourself to know what you know. And we know so much, but no one tells us like how to trust ourselves, how we can know what's working for us. And we have this navigation system that we always have with us, and these people travel the world and invite people to this. So Gary is the founder of Access Consciousness and started, as Karine told before, years ago, where he was at a point in his life, I think he was already in his 50s, where he said, you know what, I have experienced so much. I had a lot of success, but I have also experienced a lot of not so good things in my life. And I'd really like to have like a joyful living, what's truly possible here. And if it's always about suffering and, solving problems, I don't like to be here anymore. So he would start asking for himself, what's the life that I'd like to live? What would be fun for myself? And with these questions, a lot of things showed up in his life, and he would just have conversations with people and invite other people until Dr. Dane here joined him, I think then 15 years later, after he started to share the tools that he found really effective and changed his life. And Dane and Gary now are the creators and co-creators of this movement, I would say. For me, it's a lifestyle. It's like a movement, it's a lifestyle, it's an invitation, it's an acknowledgement, it's an encouragement of whatever you already be, to really live it, to let it out and live your potency and your power. And then we have the third person in this trio, and it's Simone Milasys. Simone Milasys joined them also years ago, and she's this person that always had joy in business. She always loved creating. She always had lots of projects and things going on, and she has a book that is named Joy of Business that I'm currently reading again with a group of people. And already the first chapter that inspired me, where I could read, she was always this person of knowing something different and making choices that no one understood, but she believed in herself, even if she didn't know, for herself where it will lead her. And and now we have all these beautiful things that we so much love, and we also get to share out into the world. Yeah. Karen, you before the break, you also mentioned the word comparing. where it talks about, you can choose whatever you want to choose, and it's not about comparing with each other. How are you experiencing this? What is your choice here? Maybe also, how was it when you were in TV? How is it there? Like, was it always easy for you? Was it hard? How do you deal with that? What's your way of being you in business and being compared, or have other people choose whatever they choose?
Oh, for TV, it was really hard. I was younger, and I wanted to please so much. And I did want, I wanted so much to be the best one. And there's always someone younger and cuter and blonder and like having big boobs, I don't know, sexier. And I was like, oh, my God, I will never be that. And I was hoping so much to get that contract, to win that prize of being the best one. And I was trying to achieve and compare myself and trying to be the best one. And, I was so suffering all the time, all the time. And now it's so different because I don't really want to know, or I don't take a look at who's creating what and who's having success, who's having more people than me in my class. Or I don't look at that. I'm just keeping and telling myself, do your task. Do what's fun for you. Do what's light for you. Say yes, say no, who cares? Just do that for yourself. Because at the end, when you die or when you take your last 90 seconds of breath, you will have to take a look at your life and decide or choose or just admire what you've done or didn't do. And I want to be so happy when I die. And I want to say, oh, you rock, dear. You had a rocking life. Way to go. You can go out of your body now.
Yeah. So I was just wondering when I listened to you, because we talked before, the tool that you gave people was like, am I really being me? If I would choose to be me right now, what would I choose? And all this want to achieve something, want to please something, want to be the best. If you are out there and maybe in a situation like this and you don't know how to change this, you might want to ask the question that Karen gave you before, and start looking. Is it really you, reacting? Is it really you want to achieve? Is it really you that want to please? Or is this what you also, have experienced here, and this is the way of being with each other, and what else would be possible? And how much can we outgrade all of these things where we go into competition, where we go into, fighting as well, and miss the space and the freedom that lives within being you, where you have the most strength. Everywhere where we fight, everywhere where we want to achieve, there also we are not totally in our potency, and your most strength lies in being you and the beauty and the gift of everyone. So therefore also the construct of comparison, for me it's a construct somehow. It's like to separate us from each other, if you are so successful, I should hate you because, you're better than me. If you are having this and this going on, or in some people's eyes are more beautiful, I should hate everyone, instead of like saying, oh my God, I love what you're doing. I love what you're being. And what else can I choose? Yeah. So, this is beautiful. So do you know when this changed for you? Like, did it just change over time? Or could you also see yourself to make a choice of like, oh, that's not healthy for me or good for me? Or, oh my God, I see myself going into competition. Was there a process to it, or did it just change with all your choices you made in the last years?
Yeah, I discovered Access Consciousness in April 18. So it may be 18 months ago, and I just practice. I train my mind. I train myself. I asked for more consciousness. I asked for more awareness, and slightly it was moving, and slightly I could see when I was going into the ego and when I was totally aware of what I was choosing. It wasn't like one day you just wake up and you're totally aware. No, it's like really being out of shape and training for an Ironman. You have to go
do your work.
Yeah, do your work, do your shit, put your running shoes, and maybe sometimes you're going to walk, and maybe sometimes you're going to run very fast. Maybe sometimes you're going to be, breathless, but, and go again and go again. You were talking a few minutes ago about how you were being happy in the line with all those angry people. Well, I did the same thing a few weeks ago, but I got so pissed, and, my brain just disconnects. And I was telling myself, oops, something happened. Was that mine? Oh, it was not. But I got really pissed, and I was like, rumbling. And, sometimes I just like drop it, and it's okay. Okay, what could I do? What could I have chosen? What could work best next time? It's not about being perfect. It's just about being free and being aware and having so much more fun.
Yeah, this just came up for me, and you said it. It's really not about being perfect. Our conversation is not like, this is the right way. It's like you have always choice, and you have tools to change something that is not working and getting out of things that are not belong to you, but you think they are, You think also, it's normal to be upset. This is what I would say. Like, people think it's normal. Of course, you're right to be upset. You're right to have this, mood. Yeah. But it's like, you take it home. You live with it the rest of the day. So it's not against someone else. It's at the end, it's against you. And then it's so cool to see there are different choices. And I have said this word so much. I could laugh about myself. I've said so much about choice in this radio show. But we just don't want to hear it. That because we think it's difficult to make choices. We have learned it's difficult. We have learned we need to think about it. We need to have a strategy about it instead of no. What I love what Gary and Simone are inviting us always is like the yes/no universe, where you can always ask yes, no. If I choose this, yes or no. What will great? And then you can never fail. It's never, sometimes you will make a choice where you're afterwards to say, it's not my best choice, or this went in a way I didn't want to. But still, it was a choice that you can change again and change again. And this gave me so much freedom over the years. And as you said, it's a training. You have learned over years, 20, 30, 40, 60, 70 maybe, years something, and it became almost normal to you. And now with the Access Consciousness tools, you get another perspective, another possibility.
Yeah.
And we come to our last round after this break, and I'm excited. What else is possible?
Yeah.
What do you hate about business? And do you want to change it? If you don't want to change anything about your job or business, stop listening. You're all good. If you'd like to have money just for the fun of it and stop the negative self-talk, check out Joy of Business. This is about knowing what you know about business and creating more than you can imagine. Access Joy of Business 101 classes offered around the world. Go to accessjoybusiness.com/101.
As difficult as it is to believe, there are places in Africa where human traffickers sell albino children and their body parts for use in magic rituals. Humanity Healing International is actively working in Uganda to change this paradigm. The Albino Rescue Project finds albino children who are at risk and places them in safe schools and environments where they can learn and grow free from fear. To learn more or to sponsor a child, visit humanityhealing.org. Humanity Healing is where your heart is. Are you trying to get from point A to point B and need a little advice? Connect with the counselors at Om Times Advisors. Whether you're looking for a life coach or a spiritual intuitive, the advisors participating at advisors.omtimes.com were carefully chosen based on their gifts, skills, and professionalism. Om Times Advisors, connecting you with the best advisors in the business.
Hello, I'm Lisa Berry. Join me every Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time for Light on Living, a chance to see new, hear different, and feel more as I shine the spotlight on all the ways to lighten the load of life's challenges. Light on Living is your link to that new way you're looking for, that new understanding that will enhance your life, and that positive connection that will support your growth. So join me, and you'll gain insight and start to see things in a new way that motivates you.
Your conscious connection to a more mindful world. Om Times Radio. IOM FM.
And once more, we are back again. It's so funny sometimes with the English, you know. I'm from Austria, by the way, for everyone out there. And that's the beauty with Access Consciousness and with all the people out there. Because if you would have told me 10 years ago that I know people all around the world, I would have said, yeah, that's
You're
how.
right.
And now it's so cool. And it's not like, what's the word for this? It's not like I'm not lying. I know people all around the world. I know people in every continent. I know people around the globe. And I would say, wherever I would go for a holiday, I can find a person that someone knows or is somehow connected with Access Consciousness. And this is so cool. And what I love is I get to have conversations with people about different things, you know, also seeing the cultures and how people have different perspectives, how they grew up, and how this is more than fun for me. And sometimes always we meet each other in life, you know. We have all these classes around the world where people would also travel to, and then we would see each other live. And some people don't even speak English, but we have all these translators, and there's something growing and something happening that is really beyond what some people would imagine or would think is possible. And there is a communion and possibilities that's just magical. And magical is for a lot of people like this airy-fairy stuff. So how would you talk about magic, Karen? What's magic for you?
Oh, magic is being me. Magic is making things appear and having such a happy life. This is magic for me, you know. When you just wake up and feel happy, and you know, I talked a little bit of my mother, my mom who passed away, and it was really sudden. It was an accident. She fell out the stairs. She was supposed to go to Florida, and instead she went through the sky, and it was very fast in 12 hours. Yeah, and she had wrote on her calendar like leaving. Said, holy shit, she knew she was leaving, but she was supposed to be leaving for Florida. And, you know, being able to talk about that like this, with humor, with kindness, with lightness, this is magic.
Yeah. That is truly, because, if you would see me right now, I have a smile in my face, and I know a lot of people would be like, oh, my God, that's not okay.
Yeah.
But how you told it, you know, it's like the energy, how you told it. This is what it did in my world, and that's the beauty. When we really listen to people, what's the energy behind the words? That's so beautiful. And magic is really, oftentimes we think we are magical if we have certain abilities, you know, and then, you know, magic appears. No, it's really this being you, and this is what I would say, Karen and I and a lot of other people who also facilitate the being you classes and sessions and evening classes. We want to invite you to know and to experience that magic happens when you allow yourself to be you, whatever this means. And a lot of people would say, but what does it mean to be you? Yeah, this is like the exploration that never ends. You know, there's not a recipe of like, oh, this is being you, and we will tell you if you do this, then you will be you. No, it's like being in the moment and having a presence that no one is inviting you to. And it's we also think like presence looks like this or that. No, presence is something that is totally ease-filled and has a freedom to it. And it's where you just be with things with no point of view, where you be with things and relax into it. And with a breath, if you choose being present, then everything actualizes with total ease.
Oh, yeah.
So that's the gift, and that's a conversation that we also get to have, And of course, as like one of the tools we gave you here, we have like thousands of tools and questions that we ask, and questions always open up. I had a session yesterday with a woman that booked a session with another woman the day before. And she was so weird after the first session, and she came to me and was like, what happened? And she said, this woman said some things to me. And it's not to say the other coach was wrong. It's more like, if people say something to you and it doesn't create lightness, don't take it as true, And the beauty was, she was like, there is something off. I need to have another conversation with another person. And I'm so honored to know so many people that know to have a conversation from a question and not from advice. And it's not wrong, but with an advice, you always put your point of view and your perspective in another person's world, and you're not empowering the person to know what they know and to open up where they get, this is where it gets light. This is what I know. This is the information that works for me. Oh, this is not light for me. This is heavy for me. Or this is the information that doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
So this is also a tool, right? This light and heavy is also a tool that we give people. Where it's like, you always know, and please listen to people when it gets like heavy and you feel bad after a conversation. You are not wrong. It's like you took an information and, made it yours and think, oh, this is a great information, although it never was amazing for you.
So right. You know what? I was reading a few months ago, Morning Miracle, and it explains the tools and how to be productive in the morning and what to do at 5 and 5:20 and 5:40 and 5. And it's a good book, but I was trying that, and I was so tired after 2 weeks, and I was almost crying. I'm going to be in trauma and drama. So, I will never be productive. I will never have success because I cannot do Morning Miracle. And then when I discovered Access Consciousness, I just knew that I just had to ask my body what's required in the morning. And everything came so light. So sometimes it's reading, and sometimes it's text, and sometimes it's having a coffee, and sometimes what's light for you? Oh, thank you. No keys, no strategies, no nothing. Just asking questions about your body or your business or what's good for you and what's light for you.
Yeah. Oh, thank you so much, Karen, for this beautiful conversation. This was such a pleasure for me to get to know you with a lot of other people right here. And
thank you.
Oh, it's so cool to hear you. So, Karen, if people want to get in contact with you or read or find you somewhere on social media, how can they?
Yeah, on my website. Yeah, website, KarineChampagne.ca. It's in French, but, you can just contact me and I will go with my English or find someone who can translate anything. I will be delighted to contribute, to talk, and see what else is possible we can create together. Thank you so much.
And
thank you.
Thank you. And I follow you on Instagram, and it's French. But the energy is so beautiful, and I just love to see your stories and this bubbly energy, this magic that you bring to the world and that you be. And of course, sometimes I would like to understand in your videos, but what else is possible for the future? We get also a little bit more of an English input of your side. But yes, you can find her anywhere if you'd like, and you will also find information somewhere below this audio that you're listening to right now. And I want to give you information also. Please have a look at beingyouadventures.com. You will find all the Being You facilitators. We also created a book last year that is called The Very Greatest Adventure is You Truly Being You. And also please look out for the Joy of Business facilitators, where it's all about creation, also about being, also with business. Your business will grow when you allow yourself to be. So everything goes into each other, and it's, whatever is more interesting for you right now, please have a look there or look it up both, because there are so many beautiful things. So my name is Doris Schachenhofer. You find me also under my name on my webpage, dorisschachenhofer.com, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and I would really love to have a little bit of feedback. I always say it in the last time, if you listen to this and you have any question or just want to let us know that you have listened to it, please reach out. It would be so amazing. If you have any question for a topic that you don't want to know more about, let us know. We are so open to talk about anything, give you information. And again, thank you, Karen, for taking time, being with me, and being so spontaneous and beautiful in whatever you bring to the world. And I took some things for me out of this conversation. Dare to be big. Dare to be big. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Dare to be big. Dare to ask. If people can always say no, but you will wonder how many people will say yes because you dared.
Exactly. Oh, thank you. It was a truly big honor to be with you on this show. Thank you so much.
So play big, great big, be big, have lots of fun, and never doubt yourself, because you are the gift that this world is asking for, and also your business, also the world. And it's so much fun to explore life and go away from struggles and problems to possibilities, choice, and whatever is fun for you. So again, dynamic presence actualizes everything, and dare to be big. Big. Yay!
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
See you soon somewhere on the planet. Bye.
See you, Karen.
Bye. Thank you.